Let me start by saying I apologize for the way I look and lighting and everything. I didn't plan on making the video. I've got another microphone right here to try to catch me. Um, Perhaps better. I don't know. I watched the Artemis 1 launch now for probably 4 times. And each time I watch it, it gets me a little bit emotional. And the reason is very simple. If our species is to ever have any hope of, of lasting any kind of significant interstellar time period, and I don't mean a couple hundred years, I don't mean a couple thousand years. I mean tens of thousands, perhaps even more into the future. It is imperative that our species become an interstellar one. At the very least, we must learn to travel inside of our solar system, and even better would be to learn how to travel interstellar, whether it be to the Centauri system, Alpha Centauri, Proxima Centauri, those star systems, the closest star system at 4 light years or beyond. It's imperative. And it saddens me that as a species that we don't pay more attention to doing what we must do to push forward. Um, Carl Sagan is the one that said the reason the dinosaurs went extinct. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but the reason the dinosaurs went extinct was not because of an asteroid hitting the Earth 65 million years ago. It was because the dinosaurs didn't have a space program. And if the dinosaurs had a space program, then well, they wouldn't be extinct, and we would not be here. Anytime you hear of an astronaut coming back down to Earth, they talk of a perspective change. It's something that William Shatner, this past year, whenever he went up, and when he come down on the live video, you could tell that his perspective had changed. His view of planet Earth had changed, and every single person who goes up into space speaks of the same perspective change, to how very small we are and how very precious this life is we have here on Earth, and how easy it appears to destroy it just by the mishandling of our planet as we have done.
William Shatner taking in the moment clearly.
What you had, if everybody in the world needs to do this. Everybody in the world needs to see the, oh my God. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, the little things of weightlessness. But to see the blue color go whip by, and now you're staring into blackness. That's the thing. The covering of blue, this sheet, this blanket, this comforter of blue that we have around us. We think, oh, that's blue sky. And then suddenly you shoot through it all of a sudden, as though you whip off a sheet off you when you're asleep, and you're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down, and there's the blue down there, and the black up there, and it's just, there is Mother and Earth and comfort, and is there death? I don't know. Is that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop! And it's gone. Jeez. It was so moving to me. This experience has been something unbelievable. You see, yeah, weightless, my stomach went up, and I thought, God, this is so weird. But not as weird as the covering of blue. This is what I never expected. Oh, it's one thing to say, oh, the sky and the thing and the fragile thing. It's all true. But what isn't true, what is unknown until you do it, is there's this pillow, there's this soft blue. Look at the beauty of that color. And it's so thin. And you're through it in an instant. It's how thick is it? We know.
the atmosphere.
Is it a mile? 2
No,
miles?
I mean, it depends on how you measure because it thins out, but maybe 50 miles. Not even.
But you're going
Yeah.
2,000 miles an hour. So you're through 50 miles at whatever the mathematics
Fast. Yeah, really
It's
fast.
like a beat and a beat, and suddenly you're through the blue. And you're into black. And you're into, it's mysterious and galaxies and things. But what you see is black. And what you see down there is light. And that's the difference. And not to have this, you have done something. I mean, whatever those other guys are doing, what isn't, I don't know about that. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary. Extraordinary.
We must find a way to move forward. I don't know how America is going to be able to get out of this current situation we in, this present darkness we exist in, where we're perpetually fighting and we can never reach some kind of compromise, and every side is always pissed off about something in which they cannot change or shouldn't change, or there's bigger problems. I mean, and it's not just here, it's across the world. Whether it's one country invading another, one country using economic pressures to destroy another, it happens all the time, everywhere, and it seems to be getting worse, and it seems to be escalating. And it's something that if you study space for any length of time, you quickly find out that we are even more alone in the universe than we think we should be. Anytime you hear any scientist talk about whether it's the Drake equation or the Fermi paradox or whatever, you hear that we're stunned about how nobody has reached back out to us. We've got 70 plus years of radio communication, which means we have a radius of about 35 light years in each direction, 70 years across, where a species would have had time to receive radio signals from Earth. Were they looking and respond in some kind of way? If you look at Carl Sagan's movie Contact, or his book Contact, the book is much longer and better. But basically, they find a way to use our signals to send back to us in code to tell us what's going on. I mean, it's mind-boggling at how small we are in the vastness of space. And the more we run the numbers, the more we realize that how precious life actually is. How many things have to go right for life to emerge on a planet? Because in the scheme of things, we are on an insignificant planet, an insignificant solar system, and an insignificant part of the galaxy, and an insignificant galaxy in the backwoods of the galactic neighborhood. We are so far removed from anything else, and we do not recognize how precious life is, how precious what we have is. It's very likely, it's very plausible that we are the only sentient life alive in the galaxy at this moment in time. It's equally plausible that there have been other civilizations and other peoples that have arisen at other places in the galaxies that have self-annihilated and are no longer around. That we may one day receive the communications from, but by the time we could respond, they would be gone. And that's the place we are heading right now. We are on the road to self-annihilation. We as a species must start looking up and realizing that there's so much we don't know. There is so much beyond our grasp of our grasp and understanding of the universe. We are so small and we understand so very little. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what I don't know how we could possibly get out of the situation we're in as a species. It's something that is only a very few number of people seem to even care about. And anytime you hear, it's always arguing about money to spend, even though the money return on investment and the benefit it has for society Any space program that has existed in any country across the planet has had many times, hundreds of times more benefit for that society than it costs for them to expend out. And yet we still argue about what space travel is worth to us. The next best hope we have for habiting anything in the solar system is probably Mars, a planet whose perpetual its average temperature is negative 40 degrees Celsius or something. That's the next best thing we have. Unless we want to live 30 miles up in the atmosphere of Venus, or move out to Jupiter or Saturn and stay on one of the, Europa or Io or whatever moon you want to pick of a gas giant in the outer solar system. We have it so very good, and we are doing nothing but spending the lion's share of our responsibility, or lion's share of our money, time, effort in trying to self-annihilate ourselves, and then we spend so very little in perspective on trying to reach out and grasp that other, to touch that unknown. And we ignore the benefits it could have for us. We ignore the possibilities that it has for us. Just to reach out and touch that which we do not know. I hope that we wake up before it's too late. I fear the world that I have brought my children into. I fear the world that we seem to be drifting towards. And I fear the possibilities that we are letting slip by because of stupid, petty arguments that we have here on planet Earth. There is so much beyond our understanding of existence. We're talking about questions of existence and purpose in deep philosophical ideas that we are just beginning to grasp the morsels of. And yet it's entirely possible and probable that we will self-annihilate before we get there. And maybe that's why we can't find other intelligent life. Maybe the time that a civilization is in existence in this galaxy or any other is so very brief and so very precious and so very small compared to the overall existence of both that individual civilization and its place in the galactic whole, the intergalactic whole. And maybe the real mystery is maybe the real feat is that trying to not let your power outstrip your wisdom. And I don't know where I've heard that before. It may have been Sagan, it may have been somebody else, but that's where we stand right now. We stand in a position where our power, our ability to annihilate, outstrips our position. We fear what we don't understand. We attack what we don't understand. We demonize what we don't understand. We don't push to greater heights. We rest on our laurels and let other people do the great things. And there's so very, very few people that are responsible for pushing us forward are the only reason we have gotten to where we are today. Space travel has given us so very much. It made the latter half of the 20th century and the first part of the 21st century possible. We would not have done it without space travel. And we will not continue to advance as a species if we do not focus on space travel, if we do not focus on trying to reach that other, that unknown other, to touch just the very coattails of God. If we do not continue to do that, we will backslide, we will fall backwards, and we will cease to exist as a species. We have to be better than that. We have to choose to be better than that. We have to choose to be what we are not. We have to choose. We have to be wise. We have to try to not let our power, our ability to destroy and create, outstrip our wisdom in which to use said power. There is so much out there to go and explore and to do. And it will be long after my lifetime in which these things will happen. But still, these are the very precious few first steps that we must take if we are to ensure our survival as a species, both inside and outside the solar system. We have to choose to make humanity be better than that 1 in whatever thousand chance for a civilization that doesn't arise to destroy itself, or for a civilization that doesn't allow its power to outstrip its wisdom. It's what Oppenheimer feared. It's when he said, "Behold, I've become destroyer of worlds." It's when our power outstripped our ability to wisely use said power. May we be that 1 in 1 billion or whatever that doesn't allow the power to destroy us. May we be the one that doesn't self-annihilate before we get there. It's not looking promising, but we have to choose to be better than. We have to be grown-ups. We have to be the grown-ups in the room. Choose to be better. In every facet of life, choose to be better. Because if we don't, we won't make it. Go Artemis. Go Lunar Gateway. Go Mars Base. Go Europa Probe. Go. Push. Do not let the troubles, the crap in this world hold us back. May we ever push on. Thanks for putting up with my rant.